ਚੁੱਪ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਏ ਉੱਠੀਆਂ ਛੱਲਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨੇ
ਕੰਨ ਜੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਹੋਣ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨੇ
Why does it feel harder than ever to find real life connections even though we're constantly connected?
And why does it feel like real life conversations are a real challenge?
Hi, I'm Sapreet Kaur.
And I'm Ashneet Kaur, and welcome to the very first episode of Khyaal. Khyaal is a platform where we can have discussions, share our thoughts and opinions without any judgment.
We're not here to preach, teach or pretend that we know everything. ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਬਸ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਹੀ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ.
So ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ topic ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, which is why is our generation having such a hard time forming real connections and having real conversations?
Ashneet, well, honestly, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ, but a fundamental reason is the fact we overthink. We overthink to the point where it becomes hard having those conversations. That barrier, that process of dwelling and thinking about something too much acts as a barrier in order for us to have those conversations with people.
Yeah, definitely. I think we see this every day as well, especially when we go to uni. We see people on their phones standing outside the lecture hall, not actually talking to each other, just pretending, having their AirPods in, being like, oh yeah, I'm too cool for this, or just I'm tough shit, please don't approach me.
Don't approach me, yeah. But that's the thing, it's a little bit more awkward standing there khali hath and just doing nothing. It feels more weird essentially.
I guess it feels more weird because in our head we think that it's so hard to take the initial first step, because in my mind using me as an example, I always think if I go up to someone, what if they just think, oh, why is this person talking to me, I don't even know her, you know.
Even all the negative thoughts.
All the negative thoughts. And that kind of stops us from taking that initial first step as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Presumptions and assumption kill communication. That the thing we jump to, the conclusion we jump to, just seeing your face, like I'll be standing there, tere muh wal dekh ke, I'll just be like, oh, ki soch rahi hai mere bare, and I'll come up with the most negative thing ever.
Definitely.
And that just stops you from going about and taking that first step to go up to you and just being like, hi Ashneet, how are you? Oh, hi, what's your name?
Yeah. It's our brain playing tricks on us, essentially.
Yeah. And we tend to live in a perception of a perception. I'd be standing there, I'd be thinking, what are you thinking of me? Tere dimag ch mere bare ki chal raha ga? And again, those stories, those narratives are all negative. They'll barely laguga be, oh, she's admiring me, or she's like thinking something good of me, or like.
Yeah, definitely. It all just comes back to overthinking, I think. And the second thing is, our generation especially, we are so used to texting.
Yes. 100%.
We are so dependent on that. We always think, well, in texting especially, we have a chance to erase it, rethink it. Whereas in real life, we don't have that opportunity. Jehdi dimag chho kehni pendi hai gal, and that's why it scares so many people to actually approach people and have conversations, because you don't have time to think.
Yeah. And it's like instant replies, and facial expressions say a lot as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I think it's confidence as well, but then also I think we're scared as well of doing that.
Yeah. There was this recent survey where they found that 63% of the respondents preferred having text conversations and social media conversations compared to having the same conversation face to face. So that just tells you that shift towards digital media and digital communication rather than having face-to-face conversations, which essentially create more value and create more of an impact.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing I think about all the time is when we were younger, especially chote hunde, this was never a problem.
Yeah.
We never thought dost kidda banane hai, or how to have conversations with someone. And jive vadde hoye jane, we're starting to lose those real connections, and it's getting 100%. So hard to forming real connections as well.
And there's so many reasons that impact this as well.
Yeah.
And as a child, the first thing you learn in school is how to make friends. And it's simple as going up to you and just being like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Whereas you can't do that. No, if I came up to you randomly and I was like, do you want to be my friend? The reaction ki hoga.
I'll be like, para ho ja, ki kari rahi hai?
Exactly.
Who is this crazy person?
Exactly. And so if we're not, as adults, we're not taught how to make friends.
Yeah.
It's not as normal, and there are connections which ਆਪਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਬਾਹਰ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, we socialize more essentially, social media ਦੇ ਜ਼ਮਾਨੇ 'ਚ ਵੀ, and more, I guess, face-to-face interactions as well, but they're all surface level.
But that's what I mean. I feel like hun upar de reh gaya. Even though we're constantly connected, there are no real connections anymore. it's just, again, you said it's surface level.
Yeah,
we have small talks, but there's nothing deep or meaningful. Especially if you need someone, no one's there for you because you don't have that real connection with them.
And it's the fact that connections and friendships have become of convenience. ਜਦੋਂ ਲੋੜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ.
Definitely. And especially I feel like when we're younger we don't think about these things. छोटे होने it's like everyone's your friend. जिਵੇਂ जिਵੇਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋਏ ਜਾਂਦੇ time is limited and then you kind of choose who you want to spend that time with as well. And you stop making time for what's important. I feel like socializing is very important and that's not talked enough, especially in our community as well. That's just taken for granted.
And socializing ਲਈ ਅਲੱਗ time ਕੱਢਣਾ is just not a thing, especially in our Punjabi community. Je apa, like when we set out a day, we set out separate times for studying, for work. Alag-alag ghante ditte hunde sare kasse li. Whereas if I block out a time block for socializing, it's just like it's considered time waste essentially.
Oh, definitely. And especially growing up in a Punjabi brown household, especially as women, there's so many barriers that we face in terms of socializing as well.
There's a lot more restrictions essentially.
Definitely. And I wouldn't say it's a good or a bad thing. It's just, it's the way it is.
Like there's good, there's like appearance of obviously protective, there's those factors, we're not going to touch on them, but those take you a long way. They go with you your whole life. Subconsciously thonu impact karte rehinde. It stops you from forming those connections even when you're older.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it be gender-based restrictions or especially growing up overseas, it's kind of just like not every single friend you have is going to be brown or Punjabi. There's people from different cultures, different ethnicities, and if you go to uni, you socialize, you go to work, you will meet people from everywhere around the world, and you will form those connections with those people. But for us, it's kind of just seemed like, oh, you know, just saliyan banao.
It's like automatically referred to that. Like yes, pros and cons to it, but it is a restriction that essentially stops you from building real life connections over long term. You mentioned small talk. Now, we create small talk, but even learning the art of creating small talk isn't easy, and not everyone has that.
Absolutely not. Me at work, oh my god, I absolutely hate small talk. And I always rock up late because I'm so scared of
avoiding the conversation, waiting in the foyer.
Definitely. And I feel like small talk leads to actual conversations, but it's the initial scare or just the initial thought be, oh, mainu ab bande na gal karni pani hai. And it's just, oh my god.
When I recently started my new workplace, I was so scared. I still am scared of small talk, starting a conversation. But what they did was they set us KPIs. A hafte ch inne bande nu tusi bulauna hi bulauna ga, and we had to set out notes specifically saying this was the person we met, this is what we talked about. And how scary it was going up to random people who especially had their headphones in, and it seemed like they didn't want to talk to you, was very difficult. But doing it over time and practicing it each and every day kind of just overcomes your fear. It helps you overcome that fear. And it's the first 5 seconds that are usually awkward. Odu baad it just starts flowing.
Definitely. And practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
It's the art of conversation that we really need to work on. And it's kind of dying down with this generation as well, because we're so dependent again on technology, on texting and stuff, that we are losing the art of conversation in real life.
And the thing is, it may be a talent for some people. Some people get it more easily because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਉਹ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਜਾਂ they've just been brought up that way, or even genes to some extent.
Yes.
They do impact it, but it's a skill. You practice it, you'll become better at it.
Definitely. And especially we come from a culture where people love associating with each other.
Exactly. Punjabiyan ਨੂੰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ.
Why are we losing it
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing with Punjabis. ਆਪਣੇ blood ਚ ਇੱਕ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ communicating, connecting, forming connections. Our culture is very bright. Yes, our culture also has restrictions to it just because of, I guess, family values. I guess that's also more so household values rather than cultural values.
Yeah, but I feel like those household values, they are there because of the cultural restrictions as well.
Everything is kind of
just kind of just like especially when we're talking about restrictions on women in terms of socializing.
Yes.
Especially gender-based restriction as well.
Very common. I'm pretty sure everyone, especially women, have experienced this.
Definitely. We see this every day today. It's not that our families, they won't trust us, or it's not just especially if we're talking to someone from an opposite gender, it's always perceived in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it is definitely wrong. I have tons of examples of that. It happens, oh my God, so often.
Talk about one of the examples.
One of the main examples that reminds me, it was actually a few years ago. So we went to a Nagar Kirtan and I saw one of my friends from Punjabi school and my mom was there. I went up to him, said hi, introduced him to my mom. I was like, oh, we go to the school together. And we're kind of just standing there talking. My mom, mind you, she's standing 10 feet away from me. She's all fine with it, completely fine. I'm just having a conversation with someone I go to school with. And this auntie, this family friend that we know, she comes up to me, she pulls me by the arm and then she's like, oh, bahut ho gaya, hun pass kar ja. And I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, she embarrassed me in front of my friend. My mom is standing 10 feet away from me. She has no problem with it. But this random auntie that we barely know, she felt like, oh, she has the authority to come up to me and say, oh, this is enough.
Yeah.
Why?
That's the thing. Like a lot of the time, it's not our parents. It's like the fear of Loki gang. And that kind of, it's easier for parents to tell us to not do something rather than answer society's questions, even though we might be like completely right.
Exactly. We're not even doing anything wrong. And because those restrictions, because those thoughts, they come up into our mind as well, we kind of stop ourselves. Because if we're getting told something over and over again, growing up, be like, oh, you can't do that, we kind of stop ourselves from actually just forming friendships or even socializing. Because we think, oh, if I get seen by someone talking to this person, they're always just going to think, oh, it's perceived in one way.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like if you have the chance to connect with people, form connections, in the back of your mind, consciously to see it nahi soch rahe honge, but subconsciously it impacts your ability to have conversations to even a deeper level, or even have that small talk initially, or be the one to go up to someone and start a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's not, everything is not overthinking. There are certain things that we get told over and over again that stops us from having the ability to form those connections as well.
And you can't blame anyone for everything, and it's not one reason. Kalla overthinking nahi the reason, kalla culture nahi the reason, your restrictions, it's a bit of everything, and that bit of everything adds up to this significant barrier and inability to be able to have small talk, have good conversations, and create deeper connections.
Yeah, definitely. Talking of small talk, like our generation especially, we can't even pick up a phone, have a 5-minute conversation with our relatives overseas.
Especially.
Sat Shri Akal, how are you? Udu baad kuch kehna nahi honda.
Idu baad end ho janda. And that's the thing. It's hard also engaging from different generations. Like aapa dome gallan kar rahe hain, it's a lot easier. Whereas say it might be different for someone to connect with someone older generation, like from a dada's age or mom and dad's age. Conversations end so quickly. Do lines khatam ho jandiyan ga.
Yeah, again, that comes back to the art of conversation. We just don't know how to keep the conversation going. Unless we're not talking about something digital, some memes or something. We just don't know what questions to ask.
Exactly. And a lot of our relatability or conversations kind of just derive from surface level things. Like it's hard, like you can't have deep conversations with everyone, definitely. And you need to know your boundaries as well. But again, everything's become so surface level.
Definitely. Again, it's just we don't know how to do it anymore.
Not enough practice, and predominant reason is because social media has taken over. Easier text karke or just send a meme or forward a post or something and just be like.
But do you think it's just an issue for our generation living overseas? Is it an issue that people in Punjab are facing as well? I don't think so.
Think about it. Jab aap Punjab janne ha, it's a lot easier. This is what I've personally felt. Jinni var vi gaya, unna lai gallan karniyan vad sokhiyan ga. It's also because it depends. It also depends je tusi kisi na jehda pind ch reh raha unna gal kar rahe ha ja jehda shahar ch reh rahega. because the share I feel like is somewhat on the same level as us. It's a lot more advanced or modernized and a lot more similar to ਇੱਥੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ
ਸੋ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਲੱਗਾ whereas ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਐਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ
ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿੰਡ 'ਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਜਣ ਮਿਲਦਾਗਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੌਖਾ ਗਾ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ that the connections are a lot more conversations are a lot more heftier a lot more memorable as well.
Oh, definitely.
And I feel like there's a lot more curiosity.
Yeah, and speaking of people being brought up in Punjab and over here, especially me, I would say
I think there would be a different perspective on this perhaps because I'm brought up here whereas you moved here. Do you think, because I know you were a very talkative person when you came here, do you think that kind of the lifestyle here kind of impacted you in terms of?
For me, I moved here when I was 15, so like halfway through high school, and definitely, oh my god, it was such a hard. I used to be a very talkative person, and then slowly I started becoming very shy, very introverted. It's not a problem anymore. But I became a very closed off person. I don't think it was just overthinking, especially it was kind of just, I felt like that I don't fit in.
Do you think that was essentially you were overthinking to the point where
I don't think yourself? It was. Especially, okay, it was the language, it was a different culture, different set of people. Again, I went to a predominantly white school, so there weren't a lot of other brown people. Me being basically fresh out of Punjab, my language, I could understand English, talk fine, that was not an issue. It's just there were so many other cultural things that I had a really hard time adjusting to. And then I always felt like I was too brown for these people.
Yeah. But you also went to Punjabi school.
I did go to Punjabi school, and I was so excited. Honestly, I thought, oh, as soon as I go to Punjabi school, I'll find more friends because it'll be easier. We're all Punjabis. It'll be so much easier for me to find real connections over there. But then I just felt like I was way too brown for those people. Like, we're all Punjabis, but they are
different kind of Punjabis. Alag Punjabi, main alag.
Yeah, definitely. I could not relate to them. It was a hard time back then. But I don't think it was just. It could have just been me overthinking.
Yeah, because like I understand probably बहुत सारे reasons होंगे that kind of made you feel that way, but also एक छोटा जा reason आपा ओनो we dwell over that. Everything starts seeming like is a bad scenario, or you start relating it to that bad scenario.
Yeah, but I feel like when you're that young, especially for teenagers, कोई छोटी मोटी गल भी हुंदी है, वो थोड़े दिल च गल कर जांदी है, and then you start dwelling on it, and then you make it a part of your personality as well. Like me being social and then becoming an introvert, it wasn't always internal. There could have been some little things that I picked up on, some behavior or some comments or something, and then I started internalizing that, and I started becoming very closed off. So definitely, it's not always just overthinking. It's a combination of everything.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to, I guess, form those real life connections in life again, and have deeper, meaningful conversations with people and excel in the art of conversating, ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਰੱਖਣੀਆਂ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਗਾ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਕਿਹਾ ਗਾ that doesn't reflect who you are. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ and you should be focused on that rather than the small comments or the small, I guess, negative incidents or scenarios that have occurred with you. And just put them to one side and be like, okay, मैं ਇਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਕੁਛ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਗਾ, let me take this away and let's move on.
Definitely. Easier said than done.
Yes, 100%.
But that's something you learn with age as well. Like when you're growing up, things do affect you, but as you start to get older, start to realize who you are, what kind of person you want to become, you start to realize, Tika, it's not that deep, I can do this.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to block out the external noise and just go about your own lane.
And that's something that comes from within as well. ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਠਾਣ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਐਂਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਡੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ
if you set your eyes on something, you can do anything, you can achieve anything, doesn't matter ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ.
Exactly. And this is just conversations.
There's so much more. Exactly. So everything starts with the conversation though. Yes, every deep connection, every successful person in life, everything good in career, every small thing, everything big thing starts with the conversation.
Definitely. A few words, that's it. And that's our message to you, that's our homework to you as well. This week, just go up to one person and just strike up a conversation, whether it be someone you go to uni with, someone you work with,
Someone
someone
who
you've been wanting to talk to.
It's like you ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, it seems like, oh, we will align, vibe ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, or like this is a person that I really want to engage with, have a conversation with. Just go up to them.
Just go up to them. And we will do it as well, not just for you guys.
Yeah, we're in the process.
We are in the process of learning. We're all here to learn. So let's do it. This is a little homework from us to you guys. Just give it a shot. Tell us how you go.
Yeah. And if the person doesn't respond in a good way, just ignore it. It reflects them. It does not reflect who you are. You're the bigger person for going up to them and just trying to have that conversation.
Exactly. So thank you for listening to our very first episode. We will bring out the second one shortly.
Yeah, we'll let you know when the second one is coming out. And thank you for joining us today.